So, good afternoon. My name is Evelina. I'm originally coming from Lithuania. Here, I live in Dubai with my husband Thomas and four children, four small children. One is one, then a boy, another boy is four, and then two girls, 7 and nearly 9 years old. I have a big passion for the plant-based food, and today I want to share some of our favorite, some of the recipes that often I make in the kitchen. So I've shared with you I've shared with you the ingredients that we are going to make, and we are going to start with the oats waffles. I like them because they can be eaten as sweet and as savory, and I often make actually a double batch, and later on I put it in a toaster when I'm on a rush, and it's a good breakfast that we often have. Then we're going to make pesto. This is one of my favorites, and not only mine, but the whole family. We use it in many different ways, and today I'm going to show you a few of them. Then later we are going to make soup. The winter season is starting, and it's really nice to have some hot, nutritious soup full of protein. Also, I'm gonna make kale salad, and to finish, we're gonna make date balls. Okay, so we're going to start with the waffles because we're just gonna prepare a batter, and while we're doing other things, the waffles can nicely be cooking. I already started my waffle makers, and then I'm gonna just take a blender and then make the batter. So my busy blender that I use is Thermomix. You can use any blender that you have as long as it can chop nicely the nuts. And let's start making the waffles. So I'm gonna use oats, 2 cups of oats. Okay, I like that these waffles, they don't have uh, any flour, which feels good for my stomach. And then I'm gonna add 1 banana. It's good to use your ripe bananas. We love bananas in the family, and we use it in many different recipes. And I also freeze bananas. So sometimes if I see that I don't have already raw bananas, so I just take from the freezer. Then just rinse my hands, and we will add chia seeds. We will add 2 spoons of chia seeds, another great source of protein. Oats is our protein, and chia seeds is our protein. Then let's add a little bit of salt to the taste, okay? And then we are going to add 2 spoons of extra virgin olive oil. We love extra virgin olive oil, and we use it a lot in our kitchen. And then we will add 2 cups of almond milk. To be honest, it's not necessarily has to be almond milk. It can be soya milk, can be oat milk, so whatever you have, a plant-based milk. Okay, this is 1, and this is 2. And that's about it. And then we put it in a blender. And then we are going to blend until it is a smooth, nice consistency, okay? So Oh, let's check what is happening. We can scrape it out. No, it's blended all nicely. If you feel that it's a bit liquidy, you can always add a little bit of more oats. But also what is good with this recipe, when you make it, give a few moments, or even you can make it overnight and give few moments for the batter to stand before you start cooking. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put it in a bowl, and I'm gonna start making waffles. And meanwhile, we're gonna use this blender for our next recipes. So I'm just removing all the batter. This is nice recipe to make with kids. You know, it's very easy, and the kids can easily prepare for you the waffles. And this is just the base, right? So you can experiment. Why don't you add some spinach maybe inside, maybe, or you can add maybe a sweet potato or tofu. So you can use this as a base, and then feel free to experiment with different flavors you feel for it, okay? Okay. So the batter is ready. Yeah, that is ready. And I'm gonna give a rinse to a blender, and then we can start making the waffles. So maybe the other members, part of this class, maybe you can mute yourself. I don't want to mute all of you in case you have some questions to ask, so that that would be great if you can mute yourself. Okay, I'm just rinsing the pot for pesto. Yeah, my pot is clean. And then let's do some waffles together, okay? So here, my waffle makers, two small cute waffle makers, they are ready, they are hot, and I'm just putting inside. Oh, perfect, it's better.
Okay, much better.
Thank you so much. Okay, so let's continue making the waffles. We put it in a waffle maker, and it's closing. And I put on my watch, I put a timer for, say, let's check about after 8 minutes or so. Okay, so waffles are making, and now we can go back to our busy blender, and we are gonna make pesto. So about the pesto, it's my kind of recipe. Pesto, I think it's an Italian sauce, or how you call it, and so they use a lot of basil. That's the basil that I have. I buy basil from Kipsongs. It comes in a very nice, this kind of box already with the leaves plucked. And of course, I'm growing in the garden. Hopefully, for the next couple of months, can use it from the garden. But yes, so we use a lot of basil. Then the key, the secret for this pesto, for the flavor, is nuts. And what do I do with the nuts? I roasted my nuts, and that then you know then I don't need any cheese or something to give it that extra kick of the flavor. So these roasted nuts is what it gives this beautiful flavor. And so I come from the country where maybe basil is not very common, or it was not very common when I was growing. The common was maybe dill and parsley. So this kind of pesto you can also make with different herbs, not necessary with basil leaves. If basil leaf is not very friendly to you, so explore even with coriander, if coriander is one of your favorites, dill or parsley. You can use the same principle. And also, if you have problems with nuts, you can make it beautifully with sunflower seeds. And also, I would recommend that sunflower seeds, roast them a little bit, give that additional kick of the flavor. So I suggested that one cup could be roasted nuts and 1 cup of raw nuts. So I'm using cashew nuts, which are not roasted, and I'm using macadamia from South Africa, very tasty and roasted nuts. And then I'm adding my cashew nuts. Yes. So I love garlic and I use a lot of it, and I'm gonna use 3 cloves. If you are not very big friends with garlic, use less. Garlic is a preservative and in this recipe, and of course it has many amazing properties. The same is lemon. So lemon, I'm just gonna squeeze it and we'll add the whole lemon. You know, basil after some time it turns black. So in order to avoid that, what do? We add lemon juice. Okay. So I'm gonna just squeeze the lemon. So also, say you have a garden and you're growing a lot of basil. What you can do, what I do is I I I take my basil, I add garlic, I add lemon, I add olive oil and salt, and I blend it and I freeze it. And whenever I want pesto, I take that mixture, I add my nuts, I blend it, maybe a bit more olive oil or a bit more garlic, and I have a pesto, which is amazing, amazing fast way to make it. I'm also gonna add some pistachio, which also gives a beautiful flavor. Okay, so we added basil, we added nuts, we added garlic, we added lemon juice. Now let's add some salt. Since some of my nuts already had some salt, so I'm not adding it too much. I'm using the Himalayan salt, which has a lot of minerals, and then let's add some olive oil. Olive oil, what does it give? It extra virgin olive oil. It helps to blend. And again, I will start my blender. Just gonna clean the top, and we are gonna blend now the pesto. You see how quickly and fast you can make it. When, when you're making it, use spatula because just to help for the blades to reach all the ingredients. Yeah, you can see the blending. I'm gonna add, and if you see that the blender is struggling, you can add maybe a little bit more olive oil, depending how your blender makes. Um, okay, let's blend more. Let's check what's happening inside. You can actually use only one type of nuts. Once I even made from almonds. It was a little brownish, but if you don't mind the color, doesn't matter. So here, see, it's becoming really nice, beautiful, and the smell is just so delicious. So depending how you like, I don't mind to see some traces of the nuts, as you can see, right? If you want to blend it more to make it more smooth, you can do that. It's depending how you want, okay? Okay, I'll give another last blend, and I'm gonna get ready my container to put it inside. And we keep it for a little while. It's gonna be ready. Um, so let's talk again what we can make, what can we use pesto for, right? So one of the favorite our children breakfast is a sourdough bread and pesto and tomatoes on the top. Then today we're gonna make salad, and when I'm gonna be making the salad dressing, I'm gonna be adding some pesto there too. Also, we are making waffles, yes? So we can just eat it with the waffles also, put it on top of the waffles. Then you can even make like a pressed sandwich with waffles. Um, you take a waffle, you put a pesto inside, you put another waffle on top, and you can just make it as a snack which then pesto can also be a great dip that you can have your veggies and you can just dip it, right? Or you can make it in, use it for your pasta or for your quinoa or for your any other grain. Like our Auntie Titi, she loves eating buckwheat porridge with pesto, right? So there are many different ways how you can use it, and it can stay nicely in the fridge. You don't need to worry to finish it quickly, and it's a great addition, gives addition flavor to your daily food. You can also make it as a wrap. Make it a wrap and put it inside. Is it a tortilla wrap? Is it a rice paper wrap? They all, you can use it also. Okay. My watch is ringing. I need to go and check the waffles. Let's scrape the last pesto. You know how to reach the remaining pesto? The trick, you put your blender back, you put it on a high speed, and then everything should come out of the blade. Okay, let's check. Yeah, you see? I don't know if you can see. It's the pesto came from the blades into the sides, and I can reach it more without wasting too much. Okay, so pesto is done for now, and let's see. We'll see how our waffles are doing. I'm gonna put pesto for a while in the fridge. I like it when it's cold. Okay, well, pesto is resting and waiting for us in the fridge. And now we're gonna go and check um, our waffles. Okay, and yeah, get on the waffle makers. So the waffles are ready. Just want to take it out. You see, beautiful waffles. Yeah, and so crunchy. I wish I could share with you now. Okay, just broke it. I can show to you. And can you see what I was saying? Can you see how dough is becoming more thick because it's absorbing the oats, right? And the chia seed. So let's put it one more to make. And let's take out the other one. There we go. Now Perfect. So this is now cooking again. Let's put a timer and let it cook. Yeah. And now we are gonna come and start making the soup. Okay. So let's see, so you can see me. Okay. Coming to the stove. Let me put all my ingredients. This soup is rich in protein. We are using in quinoa. We are using beans. I'm using the red beans, but oh, if you have whatever pulses you have, use it. It's great. I'm just giving you as an idea, and when you open your cupboard, see what you have, and then use it. Okay? Some of the herbs. Yep. So I'm gonna start with the pot. I'm gonna start the pot. Mhm. And I already have a chopped onion, chopped and small. And if you're not a picky eater, it doesn't have to be that small. But if you have some picky eaters, you can chop it even smaller. Then I have a chopped celery stick. And then I chopped in small cubes also tomatoes. If you very rush, it can be a bit of a cheated one. Just use the tomatoes, tin tomatoes. But if you have a fresh tomatoes, of course, it's always better that way. Yes, and the pot is warming. While the pot is warming, I'm gonna have a quick rinse of my blender because we're still gonna use it for one more recipe today. So while it's just warming up. It's just rinsing, washing the blender and use it for the final recipe. And yes, we will start with adding onions. Okay, we'll add onions, and then I will add the celery. I'm just gonna close the lid and let it nicely cook together. The pot is still not on, but slowly warming up. I'm not using any oil. As soon as I will hear that the vegetables are sticking, I'm gonna add tomatoes. And tomatoes are usually very juicy, and that will prevent us from sticking. Okay. So while it is still warming up, getting prepared also for the other recipe. But again, coming back to this soup, so I'm using quinoa, and you can also use different grains. You can use possibly barley as well. Um, uh, and quinoa, also has different colors, so explore that. I thought I have a mixed quinoa. I'm using this time only white quinoa, but explore there are different type of quinoa, and this kind of soup where people will not be bothered too much on what color of quinoa it is. But I think even if you use a colorful quinoa, it can be even look more appetizing. Okay, so my blender is ready for the next. I'm just gonna um, put it back because we will use it for making the date balls. Okay, so we'll just start making the soup, and then when the soup is kicked in, we will go continue doing um, the other few more recipes. So I mentioned that this soup is very nice eating with the toast. So wanted to share with you. There are different ways how you can make toast. but I just made today sourdough bread. This is the bread. If anybody actually would like to get a sourdough starter, let me know. I'm very happy to share with you and teach how delicious it is to make at home your own sourdough bread. This is just maybe one type of a sourdough bread that I'm showing to you. You can make different breads from the same sourdough starter. But what I'm going to do, I'm simply going for now, just put it in a toaster and toast it for a few minutes. And then I'll show you what I do next to enjoy it. Uh, Sourdough is really beautiful bread and so nice when you can make it at home and when that smell of bread, it's really, really nice. Okay, I don't know if you can hear, there is a sound coming already. The onions and the celery is starting to cook. What I did with my grains, with quinoa, I washed them and I'm soaking a little bit in the water. And when I'm gonna cook, I'm gonna add it with this water. I'm not gonna remove this water so that also it doesn't need for me to add any oil there. Okay. And so with this recipe, what really gives flavor later to this soup is we are going to roast on the pan garlic. Actually, we can start doing it now, well, and then later garlic and coriander powder. So that roasted garlic with coriander powder, that is a small kick that gives a beautiful flavor to this soup. You don't have to. You can do also can think other ways, but I like this soup that gives a very, very, very nice flavor. This roasted garlic. Don't burn it, but have a good, nice roast of garlic with coriander. Uh, like you see, I love garlic, so I'm using it blended of it. Okay, I'm just crushing it now in the pan, and then when it starts getting light yellowish color, I'm gonna add coriander powder and just switch it off. And when the soup is boiling, then we can add this toasted garlic. Okay, let's add a few more. Think here that the waffles are also finished baking. There we go. Let's save this. Yeah, garlic is very quick, so don't burn it. You don't need to cook it for too long because it's very, very quickly. Oh, smells so nice. Here is my coriander powder. These are one of the main seasonings or spices we use, let's say. Let's add coriander. My eyes from this garlic. So we just do a light. Yeah. I can switch off because it's already hot. Okay. So I leave this garlic. If you want, you can add. Have some water of the coriander powder. If you want, you can add a tiny bit of water to put them all together. Okay. Use the same. There is still sound coming, which means there is still water. there is still liquid in the vegetables, so let them cook a little bit more. Okay. So what I'm gonna do, I'm removing my other waffles and putting a few more. While you're watching the soup cooking, and then we have a toast. So with a toast, what this kind of toast, what I do, you can of course toast it in the oven. You can toast it sometimes even say on the pan. So what I do with this toast is so my bread is here toasted, and I take now garlic, right? And I'm just gonna scrape it. There we go. Mm, so delicious. Here we go. You see how much garlic I already scraped? It was a full garlic, and now I already rubbing in this toast. Here we go. Smells so good. And the bread and the garlic. So here you see I took a bread, I put it in a toaster, and then I rubbed it with this garlic. So this is gonna be very tasty later to eat it with the soup or eat with the salad or even if you have avocado. So it would be nice as well. I can see that already liquid is finishing and wanted to start to stir. So I'm gonna add now quinoa because it has water, and I like when quinoa gets also a little bit toasted in the pot before we continue adding other things. So quinoa itself depends. But see, it doesn't have too much flavor. I actually like it as it is, but if you think that it doesn't have enough flavor, so it is good to have this already toasted roasted vegetables. That gives a beautiful flavor. Also, quinoa is very tasty with the same pesto that we just made. It gives a very nice flavor to quinoa. Okay, so I'm gonna allow again to cook some quinoa and an onion and parsley. Let me close. Let it again. Some water evaporates, and then we will add chopped tomatoes. Now, regarding regarding because it's a soup, right? So we're going to add some water. So it depends on you how you like it. You want to have it more liquidy. I come from the country that we love a liquidy soup. Not necessarily that they are always the healthiest, I guess, but if you want to have it more thick, so add less water. And remember also that quinoa is gonna expand, right? So even if the beginning you think you have a lot of water, after it stays a little bit, the water is less, okay? Uh, yes. So usually when I cook, I like experimenting and feeling, like, oh, maybe for this now, just now while I'm cooking with you, I'm feeling maybe some rosemary would be nice. So let me just add some rosemary. So always explore and experiment with your herbs. Herbs are beautiful things that God created, and um, like rosemary, parsley, coriander, dill, the same basil. They all beautiful, beautiful herbs that even mint actually I really recently started liking adding mint into the salad. It's so refreshing, right? So don't be afraid of the herbs and uh, use them a lot in a different in your cooking. Okay. Yes, I'll keep the lid a bit open so that the water can evaporate. So it is, yeah, mm-hmm, cooking. So there is water, if you can see, and you can see the steam is coming. Mm-hmm. So now we will add tomatoes. We'll add the beans. Mm-hmm. This red beans. You can even add more beans. I had that much. If you have more, make it more protein, yeah. It's beautiful. Yes, and then mhm, I'm gonna add toast with garlic with coriander. Mhm, okay, and I already boiled some water. Let's mix. Mm, coming along very nice. Okay, now let's just add water. I'm gonna fill it almost to the top, and we'll leave it to boil. Okay. Mhm. Now salt again, it's up to you. You add according to your taste. Um, but the soup needs some salt to make it more. Coriander is also quite gives that good flavor as well. Okay, my spoons are small, so don't be scared that I'm adding um, quite few of them. Okay, there we go. So now it's gonna start boiling. When it boils like that, I don't mind to add, I have some parsley. Where is this parsley? I'm just gonna have a rinse of it. And I'm gonna add it also into the soup to give that another delicious flavor. So I'll just take it, you see, for some parsley. I'm just gonna add it also, add it like that. And then when it's finished cooking, it's very easy to take it out if you don't want. So now that's it. I'm closing the lid. I'm rinsing my hands. And we are gonna go and make another a few more dishes. Okay. So we got salad, uh, kale salad, and we got the day ball. Okay. We just put it so. Doing another rinse. Mhm. But we should keep checking on the soup. When the soup starts boiling, we need to reduce the. No, it's not boiling yet. Yes, when it starts boiling, we should reduce it the heat and give it for maybe 20 minutes to slowly cook it. Okay. We can also add a little bit of a lemon as well. Okay, just cutting it, and let's squeeze some lemon as well. Mm-hmm. The parsley smells so good already. Let's put little lemon. Let's now let it boil, and we can enjoy later. Okay, and then Now we can do the salad. Okay. Mm, where's my salad? The salad is here. Mm-hmm. Prepare the space. The waffles are nicely cooked here. You can see. Let's come with me. Let's remove the other waffles. And we'll go to the salad section. Okay. That's it. Another waffle. That's it. I'm finishing waffles. I usually make double because our family is big. So 1 second. Okay. So let's come to the main worktop. We're working. So the salad. It's also just wanted to show you as a as an idea, and you can of course use your own uh, your own the way you like it. But I'm just gonna share one of the ideas how we like eating the kale salad. And here you can see, so I already washed the kale, yes. And what I'm gonna add onion powder. I'm gonna add, so the scale is, I remove the stem because the stem is sometimes hard, okay? And this is just the kale leaves, it's washed and dried. And so I'm adding onion powder, okay? And I'm adding some olive oil. And now I'm gonna give a massage to the kale. So this way the kale becomes crunchy, tasty, not hard, and we just love it very much. Actually, this whole weekend we were eating, starting from Friday, the salads, and whenever it finishes, everybody very sad. So we're massaging this kale. Nice, very nice. So now the leaves are ready. Okay. Mm-hmm. The leaves are ready. And now I'm just gonna rinse my hands. And I'm suggesting to add today is cucumber. Okay. Just checking on the soup. The soup is nicely boiling. So I'm reducing now. The smell is just amazing. So I'm putting 20 minutes. Mhm, about 20 minutes, and we'll check how it is. Okay. Yes. No, what is this timer? Okay, fine. And then, so cucumbers. Yes, our family is a big fan of cucumbers. So I'm gonna add. You can chop whatever you like, but I just like to chop them just round like that. Okay. So I'm gonna chop cucumbers. You can chop thin, you can chop thicker. It doesn't, it's how you like it, okay? So add a lot of cucumbers. It's so good to eat raw vegetables, isn't it? And so we add cucumbers. Then We love adding raw onion. And it doesn't have to be necessarily red onion, it can be white onion, it can be yellow onion, it can even be spring onions, whatever you have in the fridge. Just remember to use it, especially the raw. It's so tasty. So I'm gonna cut it in longs, okay? Because we love onion and just gives. I like to see, especially how our children they love eating onion and always they ask, could you please add more onion? It's a great source of vitamin C, isn't it? And I'm sure many more properties it has. Anti-inflammation, right? So I finished chopping my onion. Now paprika, red paprika. It's great color and that crunchiness, we're making a crunchy kale salad. So we have crunchy cucumber, we have crunchy onion, and we have a crunchy paprika. How to chop? It's up to you how you like it. I don't have any. I'm not very strict about it. It's how you like it. Okay, so it's appealing for you to eat or your family or your guest. Just removing the seeds. And I'm gonna chop it. And then I had um, cooked brown lentils. I'm gonna add a cup or even more of brown lentils. It's very tasty also with the chickpeas, white or brown chickpeas. So good. Don't forget your protein because the salad itself can be already a meal. If you add a lot of also pulses, you can even add lentils and chickpeas here. So and then here you go. You have a complete meal, a complete uh, beautiful meal without not needing to add anything more. And especially if you have on the side also some sourdough bread. Ooh, delicious. Okay. So here are my lentils. I'm just gonna spring. Okay. Yes, here we go. Beautiful, isn't it? And here I suggest to add also some mint. Okay, I have some mint leaves. Just a gentle chop. There we go. Can even just break it like that. Doesn't necessarily have to chop. And now let's make the sauce. Mhm. So you can just take any jar and you can just take a big glass or some. I'll just use a glass. Or if you have I don't know where is mine, but never mind. If you have here it is. So maybe I can just use mine. So I have this sort of a salad shaker, but it doesn't have to be. You can use his, or you can use a blender as well. So, the waffles, what you saying? The waffles finished. Perfect. Just switching it off. And for the dressing, what I wanted to suggest to use is so let's squeeze a lemon. This is my small lemon, so I can squeeze it all. Even if it's a big lemon, you can still squeeze it. Okay. So where's my squeezer? Here it is. Need to add. Or actually, once was making with a blender sauce, so I just peel the skin, removed the seeds, and I put all lemon inside. Okay, lemon is done. And let's add some olive oil. Okay. Then let's add some onion powder, maybe a spoon or two. Then I'm going to the fridge to get the pasta that we made before. So I'm gonna add a few spoons of this is the pesto who joined us later. We made pesto. As you can see, when standing in the fridge, it becomes more solid. Yeah. So I'm adding 2 spoons of pesto. There is one. There is two. Let's scrape it with a lemon. Yum. Good. Okay. And then for a little kick on the flavor, I'm gonna use coconut aminos, or you can add maybe date syrup a little bit. It's optional. It's not compulsory, but for that little kick flavor, we I'm using it today. And a good shake. Okay. So the sauce is thick. If you want to make it a bit more liquidy, you can add either more lemon juice, or even you can add a little bit of water or olive oil, depending on your diet requirements. Okay. I don't mind to add a bit more olive oil, so I'm gonna do that. My family loves extra virgin olive oil, which is so good for your brain, isn't it? And I'll do another shake. Nice and green color, huh? Yes. So we shake it like that. Then we sprinkle a bit of salt on the salad because we didn't add any salt. Himalayan salt, our pink salt. Okay. So, for instance, now we made the sauce, right? If you're not planning to eat now this big salad, don't put the sauce. Don't put all sauce, but just put. So if you take, say, you're taking it for work, or you eating that much, so just take and then put, on your own plate. But if you gonna eat it all, so then just nicely put it all, mix it, and enjoy it. Okay. Because of pesto is a bit more thick. If you don't want it so thick, add less pesto, but actually pesto is the one who gives that beautiful flavor. So don't ignore it too much, okay? Don't close, okay? Smells so good. Let's take my spoons and mix the salad, and the salad is ready. There we go. And don't forget, we already added some oil on the kale. So when we start mixing, it will all combine together very nicely. Okay. Mm. So tasty. So many flavors in the kitchen today. So, so today, what we made so far, we made waffles. Very simple waffles. I gave you as a simple idea. feel free to experiment, make it more sweet, make it more savory. And we made pesto. We used basil, but don't forget, if basil is not your big friend or you don't have basil too much, well, why don't you use parsley or why don't you use coriander? Why don't you mix them both together? Okay. And the biggest trick for this pesto, for this plant-based pesto, which doesn't have any cheese, is those roasted nuts. And they just give this beautiful kick. Okay. And then we made quinoa soup that is actually boiling so nicely. And not only quinoa and beans and tomatoes and garlic. And we finished this delicious salad. And also remember about the toast. So we had bread and we used this garlic to scrape it. Yes. So easy, you don't need to chop anything, and garlic is full of garlic there. And to finish, let's make some date balls. Ooh, one of my favorite favorite treat, which is very healthy, which is very nutritious, which has no sugar, which has no cocoa, but the same is delicious and very tasty. Okay, so I'm just making some space. We are back to the blender. So my best friend in the kitchen. I don't know what is your best friend. Not to speak about humans, but you know, those appliances. So we don't need anymore. This we don't need. So what do I have here? I have nuts. And what I did again, for the date balls, what gives amazing flavor is the same roasted nuts. So you can roast them in the oven, you can roast them in the pan. Don't burn them. Just give a nice, this toast. So that itself already gives a beautiful flavor for the date balls. I suggested today to use the date paste, but really, if you have a lot of dates, you don't need the date paste. This time I had it in the fridge, the date paste, and that's why I was suggesting to use. But you can easily use your simply dates. And we are so blessed in this part of the world that dates are easy to access, and it doesn't have to be the most fanciest date. Actually, here easily you can use any kind of date as long as you just remove the seeds. Okay, so yes, we have a dates, and then we will have I mentioned, maybe some of you know, or if you don't know, this is a carob flour. So we use this instead of a cocoa powder. It has no caffeine. How amazing is that, right? And then it gives still this cocoa look, it has this brown color. Smells so good. Well, for me, it smells so good. Yes. And so we'll use some of that. Okay. And then I really love eating tahini, and it has so many amazing properties, and I use it in many dishes. Same also in my salad dressings, but or putting on a sourdough, like like instead of a butter, I use this tahini, and then I also use it for smoothies, and date balls is another way I use it. Okay, so I'll have some tahini. We will have some date syrup if it's not blending well enough. So date syrup helps, to combine everything again together. And so additional things that you can also use is, for instance, dried figs. Figs gives this crunchiness. Also, suggest adding some of the chia seeds. So what I usually do, I make a big batter, let's say like that. Then I divide it, and some I add, let's say this carob cacao powder and tahini. In the other one, I add maybe chia seeds and some dried fruits. So it's just for your imagination, what you feel for, you can add, right? You can also add coconut powder if you like. You can even add the same oats again for more protein, right? So let's do the base, and then when you cook, you can decide also yourself what more flavors you want to add. So it doesn't need any sugar. Our dates has plenty of natural sugar, which gives this delicious flavor. So what I did, I roasted nuts again. Today I'm using almonds. I'm using again beautiful macadamia nuts, and I'm using some walnuts. So I'm gonna put them in a blender. And by the way, when I was roasting the nuts, again, I sprinkled a little bit of Himalayan salt. I like when this sweet and savory, they come together, okay? Just a little bit. I'm adding the nuts. Mhm. I'm gonna put uh, the lid, and I'm gonna just cleaning the bowl because I'm gonna add here the date space. And now, sorry for the sound, it's gonna be loud, as you know, because the nuts will be rushing together. And so what I want to achieve, I want to make flour from these nuts, okay? And easier, if your blender is not very powerful, what helps if the nuts are a little bit warm, so then they easy to give up, to become as a flour, okay? Here comes the sound. Let's stop and see how the nuts are doing. Meanwhile, I'm just opening my dates. Remember, if you're gonna use your date space, but if you're gonna use dates, so just make sure you remove all the seeds, okay? Because when you're biting the smooth date ball and if suddenly you find a seed, it's not very pleasant. Let's see what's happening here. Nice. So to be honest, I don't mind also again to see, it doesn't have to be for me as smooth as a flour, okay? And and then it's nice to feel also little small pieces of nuts, okay? So how this is how it looks. I saw some questions, but I will answer to you. Let me just now do these nuts, okay? There we go. We can look. There will be some few moments to if you have some questions or some comments also. We are all here learning together. So, there we go. I think it looks good. So I'm just gonna a little bit spread this date paste. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I'm just adding here on this. Mm-hmm. On the dates. So if you're using the dates, not the date base, so you need to blend your dates in a blender, okay? You need to make it sort of smoothish paste. So today is a bit of a cheater, okay, because I'm using the paste, so that means I don't need to blend it. Or, well, shouldn't say cheating, okay? It's just one of the way of making it. It's actually opposite. If your blender is not powerful enough, it's a good way to use the date paste because you don't need to make it um, into the paste because we already have a paste. Yeah, I'm mixing already my date balls paste. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna mix it first and then divide it into few, let's say we can make, I usually always try to make two flavors. So once I even added rice cereal, and it was so crunchy, so tasty. Another time, I bought these beautiful dried oranges, South African oranges, dried ones. I blended with the same blender into the flour and I added inside and it gave this again very tasty, sourish flavor. Oh, I can hear the soup. It says it's ready. Perfect. So I'm just gonna switch it off. So when we just blend, the nuts together with the dates. So now this is your base. I'm switching off the soup on the other side. So this is your base, right? And now after that comes your imagination, what you want to put inside, okay? And then after you do that, we take it and we make it into the balls and have your nice container. It can stay in a fridge it can stay long in the fridge and you can enjoy it really, really nicely, right? Okay, so this is our base. I'm just gonna get another ball and we can add some additional things together before we finish. Mhm. So I have now two balls, okay? So I'll put it in half. There we go. If let's say you had more nuts and they are not combining together, this time I didn't use because I think the the paste is just perfect, right? But you can add more date syrup to help you to combine it together. So I have two pastes, and now two bases, and now in one of them, like I said, I'm gonna add tahini. I love tahini. It has a source of calcium. It also helps with it uplifts our mood. It's a uh, beautiful product to have it in your kitchen. Sometimes I could just have a spoon of it, of course, but with moderation, like everything, right? Uh-huh. So, and then in this one, I'm gonna also add carob. Okay. It's also a good way to add some things that you want your children maybe to eat, but then everything is so nicely hidden and it's raw like a candy. Who can say no to it, isn't it? So let's mix it. Okay. This carob powder, again, I buy on Gibson's. This is online, but I think I also saw it on Amazon. So this carob powder you can use when you bake cakes, right? Which has once instead of adding a cocoa powder, you use the carob powder. Okay, and in your smoothie, perfect. You can add it also in your smoothie, and then you can also have it as a hot drink. For the hot drink, I also like carob syrup. It's the same made from the same carob. Carob is like a bean, also, like a cocoa bean. So the same carob is growing from this. This doesn't have a picture here. So it's very nutritious and it's very, very healthy and very good for us. It's rich in iron and just also remember it doesn't have any caffeine, so it's safe for us and especially for the children. So the earlier they learn this flavor, I think the more they can enjoy the benefit of it. There we go. So one will be ready, and then I have coconut flakes, so I can put some coconut flakes and roll in it. And I'll have a carob and tahini coconut flake ball. You can think of a better name, I guess. Yes, so that is my one. And then in the other one, I will add chia seeds. So tasty, crunchy. So I don't want to add few of them. Okay. And in this one, I can add some figs. However, I need to cut them. I can't add it like that. There's my chopping board. It's here. And I'm gonna chop some of them and add it inside. Okay, so actually both and chia seeds and these dried figs will give this delicious crunchiness, if you like crunchy, of course. So let's just chop it. And we can roll these ones, we can roll in some sesame seeds and keep it, I like it cold, so I suggest keep it in the fridge. Okay. Keep it in an airtight container in a fridge and enjoy. And don't forget to share with your friends, with your neighbors. Often when I prepare for us, I go and give to some friends, to my children teachers, or yes, anybody who would enjoy it. It's very nice when you make food and you can share with others, isn't it? Or you can invite home. It's also a great thing if you have some visitors. It's a great way to share with them. There we go, and we're coming to an end to our cooking class today. Thank you for everybody who participated. If you have questions, suggestions, you can share it on the group. You can share your own experiences in preparing the food. So don't forget to experiment. You can also add here any other dried fruits, apricots, maybe raisins, what you feel for, and add according to your taste. You want more, add more. You want less, add less. You don't want at all, don't add it at all. And here it is. That itself, those toasted nuts and these dates, it's already itself very tasty. Okay, there we go. Just mixing it all together. Right. I'll make it now. Few balls, yes. So and the size is up to you. Whatever the size you feel. This is a bit of a meditation I'm doing, just sit and roll those balls. There we go. And I have some sesame seeds. Let me just wash my hands. I'm gonna roll it in the sesame seed and put it in a container and enjoy it when you need to. Okay, let's eat our nuts, and this is one of the ways how we can eat these nuts and share it with others. Okay, here is my plate. My sesame seed already roasted, but you can roast yourself. Also, very very tasty is even sunflower seeds, to add inside. So we roll Here we go. I wish I can share with you. Okay. So I'm gonna stop maybe recording. Just maybe quickly I can show now. I can show again what we made, right? So yes, so these were the date balls, right? These are one, and then we had that's with the carob powder, yeah. Then let's go back to my busy kitchen. Here is the soup. You see how much the quinoa? You can add less if you don't want too much, but quinoa is a great source of protein. Okay, so just make sure you add your salt well, and you will enjoy it. Okay, so it became quite thick soup, but delicious. Okay, and then don't forget this toast with garlic, right? Then we're coming back to our salad that we made, right? Yes, that we used inside some of the pesto, right? And then also, don't forget we had waffles. So what I wanted to say, that on these waffles, if you add a layer of pesto, you put another waffle, put it in a snack dish, press them together, and you have another great sandwich. So I'm gonna stop recording now. Okay. And yes, there we go.